kids here and your children and their grandchildren, you're going to build those O'Neill colonies. This generation's job, my generation's job, is to build the infrastructure so that you'll be able to. We're going to build a road to space.
Hey, child. So apparently Jeff Bezos thinks we're all about to be living in space. Yeah, not the movie kind, not the imagination kind, like actual space, orbiting the Earth, working our little robot jobs while Earth turns into some luxury vacation planet. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I can barely, afford to live here on Earth. So who's paying for rent on Mars? Let's talk about this man's latest space vision because Bezos says by 2045, millions of people will be living off-world and robots will be doing all the dirty work. Yep, that's the future. Y'all, I got questions. What's up, family? Welcome back to Inside the Scoop, where we break down the stories that make you scratch your head and say, now who asked for this? If you're new here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, tap the like, share this video, and drop your city and state in the comments because I want to know where y'all watching this from. And if any of y'all are packing y'all bags for outer space. All right, let's get into it. So here's what Jeff Bezos told reporters recently. He said that by the year 2045, millions of people will be living and working in space colonies, while robots handle all the hard, dirty labor on Earth. And he said he believes that this future isn't just possible, it's inevitable. This man really said humans are going to live in these massive floating habitats that you saw in the video. Just in case you didn't catch it, this is what they look like. They're called O'Neill colonies. Basically, giant spinning cylinders in orbit with trees, rivers, homes, and fake sunlight. Now, he's been saying this for years, but he's doubling down now that his company, Blue Origin, is wrapping up space projects. He says his mission isn't just to go to space, it's to move humanity there. All right, first question. Be honest. Would you move to space if you could? Like if Jeff Bezos said, come live in my space neighborhood, would you go or you staying right here on Earth with the rest of us? So Bezos says that the future Earth, it will mostly be a residential zone, peaceful, natural, and clean. He says all the heavy industry, mining, energy, and manufacturing will be done in space by machines and robots. He even said, quote, the dirty and dangerous work will be done by robots in orbit while humans live in pristine environments. Now, this sounds nice, but if robots doing all the work, what are we supposed to do, Jeff? Watch Netflix and zero gravity? He said this vision will take decades, but he's confident we'll start seeing it shape by 2045, and that's just 20 years from now. So, what do y'all think? Is this visionary thinking or just another billionaire fantasy? Because I can't even get Amazon to ship on time right now. And he's talking about building rivers in space. Bezos has been funding his dream through his space company, Blue Origin, and they've been working on rockets, lunar landings, and systems to sustain equipment, and eventually people beyond the Earth orbit. And he said his long term goal is to have people living and working in these floating colonies, each one holding up to 1 million people with gravity simulated by rotation. Now, picture that for a second. You look out your window, and instead of seeing a skyline, you see Earth spinning in the distance. No storms, no pollution, no rent strikes, just a quiet space bubble full of rich folks and whoever else could afford the ticket. Real talk. Do y'all think normal people like us will ever be able to afford space living? Or is this going to be another billionaire only neighborhood in the sky? Because something tells me this ain't for the regular 9 to 5 crowd. What do you think? And let's keep it a buck because this ain't about saving humanity. It's about business. Jeff Bezos wants to make space profitable. That's why Blue Origin's building cargo rockets, lunar delivery systems, and even working with NASA contracts worth billions. He said he sees $1 trillion space economy in the near future. So while we're down here arguing about rent, gas prices, he's already selling out plots in outer space. And I don't know about y'all, but I ain't trusting no billionaire who made his money off 2 day shipping to suddenly become the ambassador of humanity. Elon Musk has a theory as well. Let's see what his is about.
First time in Earth's 4.5 billion year history that it's been possible to extend life or consciousness beyond Earth. And we've got to do that while civilization is still strong. So that's the overarching goal of the company, is extend life sustainably to another planet. Mars is the only option, really.
Okay, so would you trust billionaires like Bezos or Elon Musk to be in charge of space colonies? Or do you think they just recreate the same problems we got down here, but with fancier views? Both of these men are billionaires. They didn't become billionaires for no reason. I will say that. So I feel like to a certain degree, they must know what they're talking about. What does this remind you guys of? Because I can tell you what it reminds me of. There was a cartoon show back in the day that I used to love to watch. Okay. I'm sure you already know by the image. It's the Jetsons. The in space, the flying cars, and I think they have already made a car that can do this. I think it was made overseas somewhere, kind of similar to that of the Jetsons. Now, all of this sounds cool until you realize that people hyping this future up are the same ones who can afford it when you think about it. While they're talking about building luxury space habitats, people on Earth are still struggling with poverty, housing, and climate change. So it's like they're giving up on fixing Earth and instead planning their great escape. He said Earth will become a protected paradise. Yeah, right. For who, Jeff? We can't even afford to live in California right now. And you think we're getting a ticket to space paradise? I mean, do y'all think space living is the future or just billionaires trying to run away from the mess that has been made here? Because to me, it sounds like Earth's rich folks are planning a cosmic HOA community. Look, I'm all for innovation. I'm not anti-science at all, okay? But I got one thing to say. Before we build matches in space, can we fix the problems here on Earth first? Can we do that? I mean, we got homelessness, hunger, pollution, and mental health crises right here. And instead of dealing with it, we have billionaires that are planning new neighborhoods in orbit. I don't know who needs to hear this, but if we can build cities in space, then we can fix the cities we got down here. Because I don't care how fancy that view is, if humanity stays the same, then we're just gonna bring our same old problems with us. If you were offered a free ticket to live in one of those space colonies, would you go? Or would you stay right here on Earth and watch from below? Here's my final thought, y'all. Jeff Bezos might be dreaming about millions in space by 2045, but the rest of us are just trying to survive the rest of 2025. And that's just the truth. If you think these billionaires are living in another reality, make sure you hit the like button. If you think it's time to fix Earth before flying off space, drop a comment below. And hey, make sure you subscribe and share the video for more stories like this because every week we have billionaires that say something wilder. And I'm going to be right here breaking it down for y'all. Until next time, stay grounded, stay smart, and remember, if they're building space condos, somebody has got to claim them.